Imagine that crystals, imagine they amplify energy. So I'm sitting in between these two crystals right now. Imagine as I do, I'm just getting blasted with high vibrational energy. And in a way, every single one of us has the ability to bring within ourselves the high vibe energy that already exists. And the other thing I want you to know is, like, imagine high vibe energy and being in high vibe. It's not like walking up the stairs. That's how, like, you might say, oh, you're raising your vibe by going up the stairs and by moving up the levels. Your vibration is naturally high vibe. All you got to do is let go of the things that don't serve you. Imagine you're in a way like a balloon, like a hot air balloon, and there's a whole bunch of anchors that are putting, like sandbags, that are keeping you on the ground. And that these things are lowering your vibe. And when you cut those ties to those sandbags, all of a sudden, you start to naturally raise up. That's what raising your vibration really is about. It's about letting go. And it's about really alignment as well. It's aligning to who you really are on the inside. And in this video, what I want to do is I want to show you 5 habits most high vibrational people have. Even if they don't know it, they have it in some way, and how you can apply that in your life to raise your vibration to a new level, to where things manifest easier than ever. You feel great, you enjoy the process more than ever as well, and you also feel more aligned. You feel more clarity, you feel less confused. And those are all like, those are all the benefits of raising your vibration. And it really can be as easy as letting go. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what to do. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, the key to raising your vibration has to do with also understanding these different levels of consciousness. Now, back in 2012, my vibration calibrated on a scale of 0 out of 10, probably at about a 3 out of 10. 0 feeling not great at all, 10 feeling amazing. What happened is I realized I was addicted to taking Adderall, which is the prescription drug that they give to people that have what is called ADHD. I was smoking a lot of weed at night to numb the pain of my childhood, and it was something that I was definitely doing to cope. I was working a job that I didn't enjoy, and I felt very resistant of my past and just resistant with where I was in life. And I'd say about my base point was about a 3. If I was smoking, maybe I was at a 4 or 5, and if I was having a really bad day, maybe it was like a 2. Now what happened is I went through a process that I'm gonna be sharing with you. There were certain things that I did that raised my vibration to where then I felt a 7 out of 10 as a new base point. Yes, it still dipped down every now and then, wasn't always completely stable, but sometimes it also dipped up a little bit. It raised my base point vibration, my base point energy, once I became aware of certain things. And it really had to do also with the spiritual awakening. I became aware that a lot of the things and the ways I was thinking, my ego, the things I was angry about my past, it was a lot of meaning I was giving to things that was causing me to feel heavy. And when I let go of that, I felt so free. So first off, I just wanted to share this scale of consciousness just to show a little bit of it before we get into all of it, so that you have a context for this. So this is the scale of consciousness that comes from the book Power versus Force, and it talks about different levels of consciousness. And at the bottom, you've got shame, fear, anger, courage, neutrality. This is things are neutral. Willingness, this is like all personal development content. Acceptance, reasoning, this is the intellect of the mind, this is the meaning we give to things. And then love, joy, peace, and then above that is enlightenment. Now we all have a base point vibration, or in a way a gravity to where we primarily are. Maybe we're like angry at our past. That was me for a long time. When I was angry at my past, I was angry at my ex-stepmom for the abuse, neglect, and I was angry at just not having much of a childhood, not having much freedom, and I felt like I missed out in that way. So that anger kept me there, and interestingly enough, I would keep attracting people into my life to reflect that anger back, because it was unresolved. So I attracted a manager, for example, at Nordstrom's and Women's Shoes that was the same personality as my ex-stepmom. She was in my life for like 3 or 4 years. Funnily enough though, once I raised my vibe, once I went through this process, within weeks she got fired. And we tried getting her fired for a long time, but we couldn't because she was protected by upper management. So this is something that as you change on the inside, as you change your inner vibration, the outer reflection changes in life. Because that's what reality is, it's a reflection. So first off, there are 2 major parts that is important to understand before I share with you these habits. The first one is that of neutrality. Now the key to really raising your vibration is, remember, it's like a hot air balloon. You're naturally want to go up. You're naturally, it's kind of like a bob on the ocean. I know Abraham Hicks uses that analogy. It's like a bob on the ocean. You push down the bob, lower its vibe, all of a sudden, what do you have to do to bring that bob back up? You gotta let go. Just let go of the resistance. Let go of pushing it down, and it naturally goes back up. It's the same way when we're talking about things like this process. It's letting go of the lower vibes to then raise your vibe. So what happened back in 2012 for me is I learned meditation. So meditation right here, learning how to observe my thoughts. This was at neutrality. I was then able, all of the lower vibrational emotions that I was feeling, I was able to then observe my thoughts, and instead of react, that was the game changer. I learned how to observe them rather than react. When I learned how to observe them, I started to feel this spaciousness within me that I couldn't really describe or understand. That allowed me to then see my past in a different way. The anger, the fear, the shame, the guilt, whatever it was, the lower vibe emotions that were around 7 to 16 years old, not having much of a childhood, having my ex-stepmom in my life, I was able to observe that rather than react to it. And that changed so much because then I was able to not react and not always fuel that energy that was always within me. And what happens is you'll notice that it's funny because like something like weed, it calibrates at like a 350 of acceptance, which what that would do is I would then feel high, I would feel better, right? It would raise my vibe. Because then it's like I feel like I was just cool, and I wasn't thinking about all that stuff, and I was able to kind of, in a way, numb it a little bit. And that would bring me up to acceptance. Now, alcohol, it's funny. Alcohol resonates at courage. So, weed, alcohol. Courage. Sometimes people feel, you know what, you notice that sometimes people that drink a lot, they also feel anger because it's so close in vibration. What do they also call alcohol? Liquid courage. Now, what happens is when we have these substances in our life, it keeps us in these vibrational levels. What happened is when I went through my awakening, I actually raised my vibration, and then when I would smoke, it would actually bring my vibe down, and I didn't understand it. I was like, this made me feel good for like 2 years. All of a sudden now it doesn't make me feel the same way. And then when I would drink, it'd make me feel even lower vibe. Now this isn't to say that if you drink with the right intentions to enjoy yourself and you're not doing it to numb the pain, then there's ways of doing this in a higher vibe way too. It's not like we have to be super anal about all this. But in general, there's a gravity to different things we do. Now think of it like this, like classical music. Classical music. Watch Daniel. Put classical music in the background, like orchestra music, Daniel. Reasoning. This is the level of that. So it's intellectual, meaning, beliefs. People like classical music. If you look at like, for example, maybe Tony Robbins, personal development, work hard, hustle your face off like Gary Vee. That's like willingness. That's personal development. It's right here. That's why some people, they raise their vibe when they're feeling all this pain of the past, but then they learn like Think and Grow Rich or something. And they see that they can then change their reality. So these are different things I wanted to point you in the direction of before I talk about the actual habits that most high vibrational people have, even if they don't know it. Let's get into that right meow. Now the first habit that most high vibrational people have, even if they're not aware of it, is actually that of what I showed you at 250, neutrality. Meditation, some form of meditation. Now, meditation could also be something like, I was just gonna walk barefoot in grass, but the sprinklers came on, so it's perfect timing that I didn't do that at that moment. But some form of meditation, it can also be an active meditation. Some people's form of meditation is they go for a bike ride. I've been doing that lately. I go for a bike ride, like a 10, 15 mile bike ride every day, and I love it. That's a form of meditation. It could be observing the thoughts every day. Every day for the first 5 or 10 minutes of my day, I observe my thoughts. And before I go to bed, I also observe my thoughts. I get to that neutrality place. But what this allows is this allows some type of spaciousness within. And by doing this every day, or being this every day, being present to the moment in a form of meditation, it helps to wire more of that in. Now, for example, this book right here is by Tim Ferriss. What he did is he interviewed, like, look how thick this book is. He interviewed a whole bunch of people on their daily habits. Now, these are very successful people. These are billionaires. These are world-class performers. And one very common thing, this isn't like necessarily a spiritual book, just like that's like the focus of it. Consistently, so many people in this book meditate. They meditate. They have some form of meditation practice. It could be them going for a walk every day, could be them sitting and observing their thoughts every day. Tim Ferriss himself has a meditation practice, and it's like the chili pad. I use that. Anyways, this is something that is a very consistent thing that everybody seems to do at some level. Now, then you get to a level of like Eckhart Tolle, for example, where he doesn't meditate. You wanna know why? He's always meditating. There's never a time he's not meditating. So I guess there's like levels to it, because when you get to a high level, you don't even have to meditate because you're just always in meditation. It's like, I know people like this too. There's a guy in Costa Rica that I've met at this life transformation spa. He's like a shaman, but his energy is just so, like, he also studied under Osho or something like that, or his teacher was Osho's disciple. I forget, but anyways, he's super present. And he said he spent like 20 years like meditating for like 10 hours a day though. So now he doesn't have to. But nonetheless, some form of meditation practice will help you get to neutrality so that you transcend those lower vibrational emotions. You accept them, you neutralize them, you let them be there, and that is really key. So if there's one thing that I think will change your life more than anything by watching this video, it's develop a meditation practice of just 5 to 10 minutes a day. Every single day. Over time it compounds. It'll change your life more than anything. Now let's go to the second one. Now the second one is one that I notice many high vibrational people have, because these are people that are very much aligned to their purpose and their mission in their life. And it has to do with that of having a vision for a better world and adding value to other people. Now, when I first started on YouTube, I started making daily videos, and one of the things and the intention behind that was adding value to other people, because I knew, and there's a quote, I forget who says this, it's Jim Rohn or something like that, but it's, if you want to achieve your goals, help people achieve their goals, because then that comes back to you. And in the same way, that's been a focus of mine, of adding value, of helping other people raise their vibration. As I do, that's like my passion, it's what I love, but also it's a strong why. What is the meaning? It's a funny thing, because when we look at this chart of consciousness, at 4 to 500, we have that. Let me show you real quick. At 4 to 500, we have that of reasoning and then love. Now, there's two huge shifts that happen. The first one is at neutrality. We learn how to observe our thoughts, which means we transcend the lower vibrational emotions. Reasoning is the meaning and the beliefs. Now the meaning and the beliefs, meaning also has to do with the reasoning of the mind, which is 400 reasoning. And what we can do is become aware of the meaning we're giving to our life, the alignment that we're feeling. And high vibrational people have a vision for what they want to experience. Doesn't mean they're always like losing themselves in the future and not being present to the moment, but it means in general, there's an intention of energy that is exuding off of them that adds value to other people. I know, not saying this to brag or anything, when I'm around other people, they can feel, because I'm so passionate about what I do, they can feel how much my energy is contagious. And I believe everyone has the ability to do this. I'm not saying I'm special, but I'm just kind of pointing out that it's almost like your cup is so full and people can feel that abundance, and it becomes very inspiring and motivating to them. It's life-giving. Have you ever been around people and they drain your energy? Well, it's because they're demanding your attention. It's because of the way they're presenting themselves, the way they're showing up. If you've had people you're around that you just feel energized and you love being around, and it's like, wow, this is like a lot of fun, that's the opposite. So the key is having a strong why, having a strong vision for what you do and who you are. And as you embody that more and more, what you'll find is that then you have contagious energy. And also it's this intention of adding value into the world. Adding value. That book that I showed you, the Tools vs. Titans, Tools of Titans, it's all a bunch of billionaires, millionaires, whatever, successful people. Their success isn't the only determinant of a high vibration, but nonetheless, these people have the intention of adding value. The more value you put out into the world, the more comes back to you. So it's at the top levels too, joy, love, peace. These energies are very giving. They're very giving. So the more you give, the more you receive. And the bottom levels, though, you just want to get. It's more ego. Also, you'll have less and less ego as you move up. It's almost like, not less ego, we always have ego, but it's less and less identification with it and allowing us to drain us and to put us in lower vibrational states. Now, the third one is actually right here, and I'll just show you. So this right here is my Diva ring light. It's a ring light that usually makeup beauty people use, but I've had it for years, and it's what I use to film all my videos. The reason I want to show you this is, one thing high vibrational people do is every single day they do what they are passionate about. They are aligned to their mission and their purpose. So it's alignment. So every day that I wake up, I do something I'm passionate about, and I align myself to this vision, which is the second one, but it's alignment. So focus on alignment. And this is the thing, not everybody listening to this it means you're meant to make videos. Not everyone listening to this means that you're meant to be an artist or you're meant to do this or do that. What is true for you is going to be different from person to person, but it's finding your alignment, finding your flow. Even as I share these things with you right now, it's not a specific structure that you have to meditate first 10 minutes a day and then do this and then do that and do this. It depends on you. High vibrational people are aware of their own flow and their own alignment. What works for me of making videos every morning when I get up, of doing what I'm passionate about right when I get up in the morning, of meditating for 10, 15 minutes right at the beginning of the day, grounding myself, going out, grounding myself in grass, things like that, may not resonate with other people. But high vibrational people find their flow. So the thing I encourage you to do is you to find your flow and to also at the same time find out what really aligns to you, what aligns to your soul, what aligns to you adding value into the world. But that really is the key, because the more you do what you love and you're passionate about, the more you're in a high vibrational space. And if you do it every single day, guess what? It compounds over time, which brings me to the fourth habit of high vibrational people that almost all of them have. You want to know what it is? Consistency. Consistency. Sometimes what people do is they'll start meditating and then after 2 or 3 days, they'll give up because they're like, oh, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And because of that, it then drops them back to where they were. The old pattern kicks in because there's an old autopilot mind. One of the keys to this process is really understanding that the consistency is key. What you do in a 24-hour in a day compounds over time, over 5, 10, 15 days. You get much different effect than if you did it for 3 or 4 days. When I started making daily videos on YouTube, nothing really happened for the first couple weeks, but then a video went viral and then all those things started happening. It's because that alignment, things you do in a 24-hour period compound over time. So consistency is a habit. And in a way, it's like, oh, is that really a habit? It is. It's something you do every single day. If somebody goes to the gym for 5 days and then doesn't go for a month, they're not going to get great results. But if they go 3 or 4 times a week for like 6 months or 2 months, guess what? They're going to get better results because there's consistency. And it is a common characteristic of high vibrational people in whatever way resonates, whatever their flow is. It doesn't have to be my flow, doesn't have to be someone else's flow. Even reading that book, Tools vs. Titans, guess what? There is many people have very different things that they do. And this brings me to the fifth thing that I want to share, which is a little bit more esoteric. But a lot of those people in there, a habit that high vibrational people have, is they jump into the unknown. They jump into the unknown. They jump into the unknown because the unknown is where magic happens. And if you want to be magical, you don't want to be just in the autopilot mind of these lower vibrational emotions, do something you've never done before. There's so many times in my life when I jump into something new, even making YouTube videos for me at one point it was new. When I started doing that, guess what? New opportunities came into my life. Things I couldn't even think of that I wouldn't even imagine now. And even now, I'm doing like figuring out things for the vision of the business and the things I'm doing, and I'm jumping into the unknown. It's funny, in that Tools of Titans book, there's something else some people do. Some of the more esoteric ones, depends on the legality of where you live and stuff. It's like microdosing is something that people do. It could be, and it's very small amounts of things like psilocybin, mushrooms, and other stuff, but that could be the unknown in some ways. Not recommending anybody do that. Do your own research on that, legalities. I know it's legal in different states. But things like that open up and allow, it seems to be a common trend in that book, Tools Titans, of all these billionaires and millionaires. It's kind of surprising. I was going through it recently and I noticed that. But just in general, getting into the unknown is where the magic happens. So one thing that I'd like you to do, comment below one new thing you're gonna do. It could be a new type of yoga, could be a new type of book you're gonna read, could be something new you're gonna study. Comment below, claim what the new thing you're gonna do is that you're gonna jump into. And claim it and then follow that up. And let yourself claim also one of the things that we talked about today, whether it's meditation, observing your thoughts, whatever it is, focus on alignment. And realize that as you do, everything changes. If you also want to calibrate your vibration, you go to whatsmyvibration.com, whatsmyvibration.com. You can get and calibrate your vibration to see where you fall, and also get a meditation for getting to the next level of consciousness. And it'll show you, you'll get content specific to your vibration, helping you raise your vibe. So go to whatsmyvibration.com or click the link below. Check that out. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like it if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, peace, much love, and namaste.